It's partly cloudy, but we're bringing the sunshine. Stay tuned for your weather forecast.
Save money this holiday season. It might be the cheapest Thanksgiving in years. And our local Buc-ee's is home to live beavers. Stay tuned.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm April Piron.
And I'm Lillian Kosh. It looks like the government will stay open for now. A temporary funding plan is headed to the president's desk. This is after it cleared the Senate last night and the House on Tuesday. Amy Kiley reports.
This Friday night, there will be no government shutdown.
A bill to fund the government now goes to President Joe Biden. A White House official says he plans to sign it. That's after a late-night vote in the Senate.
My Democratic colleagues and I will work with Republicans. I will work with Leader McConnell.
The day began with hopes for swift passage.
There's no reason we can't finish this bill even as soon as today.
But not everyone agreed with speed. Republican Senator Roger Wicker wanted movement on the National Defense Authorization Act. He worked out a deal with chamber leaders. Senator Rand Paul proposed an amendment to reduce spending. The chamber shot down that idea. Then, just before midnight,
the bill is passed.
That doesn't mean the spending battle is over. The bill's two-tiered funding runs out just into the new year.
We expect that fight when we get back from Thanksgiving.
Hardline House Republicans say they want Speaker Mike Johnson to push back against Democrats. Working with them is what cost his predecessor the gavel.
We're sending a shot across the bow.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Texas lawmakers are working to pass new legislation to curb immigration. On Tuesday, the State House passed a bill that gives $1.5 billion to build a border wall. It will go back to the Senate for another vote. Another bill makes it a crime to enter Texas illegally. That one now heads to Governor Greg Abbott's desk for his approval. Critics say it will cost counties millions of dollars in jail costs and potentially lead to racial profiling in the state. The ACLU is threatening the issue and if Abbott signs the bill.
April, it's a bit chilly out here, I'm not gonna lie.
No, yes, Lillian, I know you can't tell, but I'm shivering.
Oh yeah. Well, I know our weather anchor Piper Gifford can kind of give us a glimpse on the next few days, what we should expect. Piper?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's definitely chilly out here. We're definitely feeling that cooler temperatures. If you take a look at our screen here, we'll look at our current conditions. Our temperature right now is 56 degrees. It feels like 56, but I'm sure feel like it's a little colder than that. Our wind speeds are at 3 miles per hour, and our conditions are definitely cloudy. Now let's take a look at tonight's conditions. The temperature tonight will be 53 degrees. It'll feel like 53, and our wind speeds will be at 4 miles per hour. Conditions still partly cloudy. And if we take a look at tomorrow's conditions, our high is going to be 69 degrees. It's going to feel like around 67, and our wind speeds will be 5 miles per hour. The sun is going to poke through a little bit, but we still have those cloudy skies. Later on in the show, I'll tell you more about your holiday forecast for next week. But for now, let's get back to the desk.
Thanks, Piper. Well, this week is Hunger and Awareness Week.
That's right, April, and it's very important because next week is Thanksgiving, and here in Denton, we want to make sure everyone has a meal.
Our live reporter, Meredith Billings, is out there to tell us more about ways that we can donate goods. Meredith?
Thanks, guys. This week is Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, and it is especially important with Thanksgiving just around the corner. Denton County Friends of the Family is one of the many organizations working to put a Thanksgiving dinner on someone's plate. Their goal is to feed 350 families this year with the help of food and monetary donations. So far, they have raised just over $3,000 of their $5,000 goal. If you wish to contribute, you can go online at dcfof.org to donate a meal or shop for food items. I can't wait to see Denton community come together to feed so many people a Thanksgiving dinner, but until then, that's all from me. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Meredith. Well, some good news this year. Thanksgiving doesn't have to break the bank. Even though it seems like things are getting super expensive, lower turkey prices will make this year one of the cheapest Thanksgivings in recent years. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, a classic Thanksgiving meal for 10 people will cost about $61 on average. That is 4.5% drop from last year's record high average of $64.05. You can thank the turkeys for these low prices, as they are typically the most expensive item on the menu. The average 16-pound turkey will cost about $27 this year. That is 5.5% less than last year, and the prices are expected to continue dropping. Man, I am just getting hungry talking about these turkeys.
The EPA is testing the city of Denton's water. More on that shortly.
And one business suffered a break-in. What the thief decided to take might surprise you. Stay with us.
The Environmental Protection Agency found that hundreds of tap water systems around the country are contaminated with forever chemicals. This includes Denton's water systems, which struggle to reach the recommended maximum contaminant level. The state of Texas doesn't require monitoring or reporting of PFAS chemicals, leaving Texas counties to establish those down standards. However, the TCEQ plans to develop drinking water standards for public water system. The EPA is currently conducting their risk assessment tests.
Denton police are investigating a unique burglary at the beloved downtown mini mall. According to the police report, a man broke in early Tuesday morning and stole several decorative swords. The police were alerted of the break-in at around 8 a.m. Tuesday after an employee discovered one of the front windows of the mall had been broken. For anyone trying to buy vintage swords for this Christmas, you might want to make other plans.
Incoming vehicles were heard honking Tuesday afternoon at the corner of Oak Street and Carroll Boulevard. But that was the goal, as a small group of protesters held signs reading "Honk for no vouchers." The vouchers they're fighting against could grant families $8,000 a year in public fines for private and home school education. School vouchers have been a prominent issue in the Texas legislature in recent months. One of the protesters, Cynthia Rives, stated, "We are asking Representative Lynn Stuckey to vote against any bill that would bring vouchers to the state of Texas." As the state vouchers program still yet to pass, Governor Greg Abbott will continue to call lawmakers back to session until it is passed one way or the other, meaning the protesters are still not likely to stop anytime soon.
April, I wonder if these chilly temperatures are here to stay. I'm freezing over here.
No, I am with you, Lillian. Like, I kind of want that warm weather we had in August, so I'm really hoping our weather reporter, Piper Gifford, can give us a little bit of an update of what to expect.
Thanks, guys. Well, I hate to break it to you, April, but we're not getting those August temperatures back anytime soon. Our Turkey Day might be a little cold, but let's take a look at our temperatures across North Texas right now. Denton, we're at 56. You see 60 degrees across the map in McKinney, Dallas, Fort Worth, Sulphur Springs. But Denton, we're sitting at that cool 56 degrees. Now let's take a look at what's going on all across the state. As you know, Denton, we're the coolest on the map. Denton's at 56. Oklahoma City is also at 56 degrees. Shreveport at 62. Houston at a higher 63 degrees. But let's take a look at our 7-day forecast and see what that Turkey Day is going to look like. Tomorrow, we have those cloudy skies. Our high will be 71 degrees, though, so we'll feel a little bit warmer than right now. Saturday, we're going to have those clouds still in the sky. Sunday, we do have a 50% chance of rain with a high of 67 degrees. Monday is when our temperatures, that sun comes back out, but Tuesday, our temperatures are going to start to go a little bit lower. It's going to be a windy day on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, our lows are in the 38 degrees, so it will be a little chilly on your Happy Thanksgiving, but make sure to wear a jacket. That's it for weather. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Piper. Well, Lillian, are you a fan of comics by any chance?
You know, I can't say that I am, but I'm always open to reading one. I like good artwork.
Well, I have a story for you. Our reporter, Brian Alger, went to a comic art presentation right here on campus. Brian, tell us more about it.
Thanks, guys. That's right. I got to meet one of the real-life superheroes who puts pen to paper in bringing these comic books to life. Let's take a look.
It's an English translation, but it's a situationist hijacking of an existing comic. That was paid for by
This is Christopher Sparandio, a comic book artist and professor at Rice University. Sparandio is a member of CATS, Rice's comic art teaching and study workshop organization.
Since I was a child, I wanted to make films. The school that I went to for undergrad, West Virginia University, didn't have a film program, so I began studying art, making drawings and making comics. And so now I make comics because films are made by rich corporations for the most part.
I definitely think he gave some useful advice. He talked about the idea of how kind of the history of comics is sort of a history of stealing, which I hadn't really thought about that before, the whole collage aspect.
Well, okay, I make my comics by mining public domain comics, comic books that have been forgotten by mainstream media, been thrown away as trash basically by big corporations. So I go through their garbage and I find bits that I like, and then I redraw them, basically. Redraw them and rework them and make them shiny and new again.
He was really cool. He was very, very engaging, very, very fun. Talked about some really interesting stuff.
And that's one of the things, from the scholarly communication. Well, that's
Now, whenever I have a story of those, I visualize it as a comic. And usually I just write it as...
I'm Brian Alger. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Brian. A local dedicated Frisbee team is letting their Frisbee flag fly.
And as the semester comes to a close, we are saying goodbye to some of our graduating seniors. Stay with us.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, I got it.
Mom. I have.
The end of the semester is a sentimental time. Graduation happens, people move to different cities to start their careers and say goodbye to their beloved university. Our reporter, Sydney Jolivet, and graduating senior talked to some UNT graduates. Let's take a look.
The university experience starts with excitement and anticipation. From lecture halls to design rooms, one senior, Evan Green, found her passion and honed her skills. Evan will be graduating in December with a Bachelor of Science in Fashion Merchandising.
It was a breath of fresh air. Like, it was very relaxing. Like, my first semester here, I was on the dean's list immediately.
I had the opportunity to talk with Trey Francis, another UNT senior that will graduate in the spring semester with a Bachelor of Arts in Converge Broadcast Media.
I thought, maybe I'd have a hard time, fitting in, finding friends and stuff like that, people who have the same interests as me. But I found it to be very different. As soon as I joined North Texas Television, I found it to be so different that I could find a lot of friends and a lot of people had the same common goals, same interest, and I just really enjoyed that fact and I could really see myself being here. So I decided, stick around, get plugged in more, and now I just love it here.
Evan and Trey's college experience encouraged personal growth, resilience, and much more.
I'm a big sports guy, I always have been. I just think one of the big goals for me is becoming the assistant sports director here at North Texas Television. Without that, I would have some opportunities, but not as many as I do have.
UNT played a pivotal role in preparing them for the world beyond Denton.
Like, they did it around May, when May graduates are about to graduate. They just did it again for us December graduates. It's for everyone, but they have companies like JCPenney, Michaels, like all the corporate companies come. And that was a really good opportunity because you right then and there could be offered a job on the spot.
As they stand on the threshold of their future, these college seniors carry with them invaluable lessons, friendships, and experiences that UNT has bestowed upon them.
Make college what you want it to be, because a lot of people just sit there in their dorm and then look back and 4 years has flown by and they did nothing. They did nothing. So definitely make it what you want it to be, make it the best experience, however you want to do it.
Get involved. It sounds so simple, but it's so complex. You get your foot into one door, it opens up another one, and then another one, and you never know where it might lead.
For North Texas Television, I'm Sydney Jolivet.
Lillian, most people wouldn't call themselves a morning person.
I am definitely not a morning person, but this group of people gather each Sunday at 6:30 a.m. to play this up-and-coming sport.
That's right. Our very own Jalen Alexander and Drew Maurer had a chance to see what Ultimate Frisbee is all about. Let's take a look.
Ultimate Frisbee is a pastime for plenty of people. However, this particular group makes the sport something that is accessible for everyone.
It's very easy to contribute to the game and be productive right off the bat. First day you're playing the sport, as long as you can catch a Frisbee and throw a Frisbee and run around a little bit, you're going to be helping your team out, and that feels great. It's a lot of fun for all levels. Everybody that comes out gets to have fun. We have some newer folks that come in and we have some old folks. We try to include the people that come join us so they don't feel like they're left out just because they're new to the group or to the sport.
And it's as easy as that. Most sports require a ton of people or even a ball or two to get a game started. But with a Frisbee, you pick one up, toss it to a friend, and the game has already started.
I think that's just the beauty of it, where you can kind of play whenever, wherever, with however many people possible.
I love the spirit, and the people I play with are awesome. We have a brotherhood going. I know what to expect when I come out. It's not going to be any crazy rowdy business where you might get into a fight. It's nothing like that. It's just everybody's out here having fun. Win or lose, it's a good day.
As simple as the game of Ultimate Frisbee might seem, it takes a whole lot of dedication. Rain or shine, bright and early, this group shows up at Tejas Park in Plano each and every week.
It's been a weekly commitment just to see those guys get better as well as myself get better. It's just super awesome. We've built a friendship just off every single week.
ntTV News, I'm Jalen Alexander.
That made me realize I need to work on my form and maybe get my throwing arm into shape.
Girl, me too. And well, let's see what Jalen's got for us today.
Thanks, ladies. Today I'm coming to you live from the UNT Coliseum. Now listen up, Eagles. I know you guys are ready for Thanksgiving break, but you're going to want to stick around for some Mean Green sports when we get back.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Good afternoon, ntTV sports fans. I'm out here in front of the UNT Coliseum where your Mean Green men's basketball team played here this past Saturday against Omaha. With the career-high points from CJ Nolan and Reuben Jones, UNT has improved their record 2-0 by winning 75-64. Your Eagles are looking pretty hot going into the 2023-2024 season. They are hitting the road to Charleston, South Carolina to play St. John's in the first game of the Shriners Hospital Charleston Classic. Tip-off is scheduled at 12:30 Central Time. So let's go Mean Green. On to our women's team. They traveled all the way to College Station to play against Texas A&M this past Sunday. With Moore and Colonel leading the Mean Green in points, unfortunately, your Mean Green came up with a tough loss against the Aggies, falling 55-74 and are now 1-1. Your ladies are looking to bounce back tonight on the road to Nacogdoches to play against Stephen F. Austin. Tip-off is scheduled at 6:30 p.m. at the William R. Johnson Coliseum. So let's get this win, Mean Green. And lastly, with the season coming to an end, UNT volleyball team only has a few games left to rack up some wins. They played this past weekend at home against Rice and shutting them down by winning both games 3-2. Your Eagles are now 11-5 in conference play with teams like SMU and Memphis still left to play. Your ladies are just heading 45 minutes down the road to Dallas to play our rivals, SMU Mustangs, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. and Saturday at 2 p.m. Both games will be streamed on ESPN+, so let's support our Mean Green. That's all for sports. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Jalen. Well, if you're anything like me, you need to take a few stops. Thanks, Jalen. Well, if you're anything like me, you need to make a few stops on your way to any sporting event, and my favorite place to go is Buc-ee's. You know, they have clean bathrooms, beef jerky, and their very own mascot, Bucky. Well, here in Denton, they take their company pride to a whole new level. Check it out.
Buc-ee's has become one of the most beloved gas stations here in Texas, with about 34 locations across the state. Along with gas and ices, you can find Beaver apparel on about every aisle and store. From t-shirts, hats, and even pillows, Bucky the Beaver is a corporate staple. But here in Denton, Buc-ee's is home to more than just beaver tails and beaver nuggets.
this location has its very own live mascots. As the sun goes down, the family of 3 can be seen happily swimming in the parking lot pond looking for their next meal.
Tonight I saw a beaver and I had never seen a beaver before.
Over 100,000 beavers reside in Texas, with the highest populations found in the northeastern part of the state. Most beavers can be found around wooded lakes, rivers, or streams, but somehow these little creatures ended up right off of Highway 35. I wasn't able to speak with Buc-ee's employees, but one customer voiced her excitement about spotting the aquatic mammals for the first time.
So I had no idea there were beavers here. I actually live in the area, so it's really cool to know our Buc-ee specifically has a beaver lake.
But these rodents have caused quite the commotion with their appetite for tree bark and twigs. Many trees around the area can be seen with giant bites taken out of them, and in some cases, trees have been cut down entirely.
This is just one example of the property damage done by the beavers here at Buc-ee's. They use their front 2 teeth to take twigs and limbs from the trees to build their dams. Now, I'm not sure where the dam is here on this lake, but by the looks of this tree, I'm sure it's a good one.
Professor Jaime Jimenez says the presence of these beavers could potentially create issues for the future.
In regard to people, I wouldn't be worried unless they start chopping down your trees on your backyard, if you have a backyard close to a pond. And people might be willing to keep the trees. So if they have beavers there, you might call somebody to move them.
But for now, the beavers pose no real threat as they continue to thrive and bring the Buc-ee spirit to life. From Buc-ee's, I'm Lillian Kosh. April, that was actually my first time I had ever seen a beaver. I didn't even know that they were in Texas, but according to Professor Jaime Jimenez, he said that they're more common than you think.
That's insane. Like, I would always go to Buc-ee's, but I would never expect to see little beavers just right there on the spot where you can just see them as you walk by.
I thought that it was a statue, but it wasn't.
It was so cute. I love that you were able to go.
Well, thank you so much for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.